You're watching Good Boys. You're watching Good Boys. Fighting just to save our lives. Got you laughing every night.
Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back. We're back home, as you can see.
We have sponge now. There's
Yes.
no use for that.
No, make a kitchen. I keep telling you.
I don't know why you want to make a kitchen.
Make a kitchen. Because that's what you use sponges for. Kitchens. The only use of sponges. I'm going to try to build one of these up into... Maybe these two. I'll connect them into a dual garden-style apartment. With a stairwell.
How they get up there, though?
Well, I'm going to make a stairwell. That's why the garden-style apartments are the ones that have, like, the stairwells in between the apartments and stuff. I don't quite know how to do it yet, but we're going to see what we can do and then turn it into dual story. Because I want to see if they're going to live up on the second story. That's what I want to know.
I don't understand why. I don't understand any of this.
Why they're not living in our other house?
Well, yeah. Because, I mean, okay, here's what I don't understand, to be more specific. They'll come into these houses here, but they don't go into all of them. They just come into, like, the first one.
I mean, maybe... It's like, you know, I live in a row house here. I come into my house. I don't go into the neighbor's house just on a whim.
Well, I don't think that they're as quite as intelligent as you.
I mean, I would agree. Not many people are. But, are you a urinal guy?
No.
You don't use urinals?
No, not really. I try not to. I'm anti-urinal.
So you're always a stall guy?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, you know, I sit to pee, too, so there's part of that.
Wait, I feel like we probably talked about this before. I'm not remembering this conversation, though.
Yeah, I've definitely told you I sit to pee.
Out of curiosity, why? Guys,
Well, it
get out of
started-
my way. Get the fuck out of my way. Why are you
I
blocking me?
haven't always sat to pee. This is ugly what you've done so far. Just to give you a little bit of constructive criticism. Real
Thanks.
bad.
Oh, hold on. It's not done yet. Finished. How's it look now?
Not much better.
This is more just a proof of concept to see will they use if I built up there. Will they go up there and actually go in a door?
Okay.
And then I'll
What if
let you
broke
make
these
it pretty.
now? Oh yeah, that's my specialty for sure. Glad you.
Well, you obviously can criticize my building style, but your money
Yeah.
where your mouth is, man. Don't jump
No.
out there. Thank you.
But no, I haven't always sat to pee. It started like 6 years ago or so, and
So
it was
started
mainly
like
just because
it started like right when I met you.
I mean this isn't about you.
I mean, maybe it is. Let's dig into this further. Is this about me?
It was mainly just because Crystal bitched that sometimes I'd miss the toilet, and so yeah, I started sitting down to pee. And you don't miss when you sit.
I mean, that's true. There are times though. You ever morning?
You miss when you're sitting?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Haven't you ever woken up in the morning and things are a little excited, or the directly after sex when you still have to use the bathroom, so you try and you're like pointing at full on salute, and
You gotta wait for it to calm down. No,
You gotta try
You
to wait
can't
for it to
sit-
calm
you
down, but
can't-
if you gotta go, man, you gotta go.
okay. In those occasions, I pee in the tub.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
In the tub.
the tub. You can't miss. It's a big area.
I mean, I guess it defined what missing is.
You hit the tub. You hit.
I mean, but you're still might be.
It's like that whole saying about a barn. It's how you can't miss the side of a barn. It's like that.
You use the tub. I was going to say I definitely have that problem where sometimes it's sitting at full salute and it comes up and it hits like the bottom lip of the seat and it comes straight out the crack.
Yeah. No, I've had that happen before. I know what you're talking about there. Because then, like, it just goes all over your pants, basically.
Yeah. So I was just pointing out that you can definitely miss while sitting down. It happens. I never thought about
that happens once and then you learn. Just use the tub.
Just use the tub. But I mean, the problem is using the tub. Like, I understand conceptually what you're saying, but it still doesn't all of a sudden go down.
Well, no, then you gotta wash it out afterwards. You gotta basically gotta flush the tub.
No. But I'm just saying it doesn't go down into the tub. It goes like onto the walls, onto the shower curtain. Like, you're still.
What do you have for a dick tip? You got like a sprinkler or something?
Are you saying, like, when you have this problem, isn't it the fact that it's pointing more up than down, right?
No, more like out.
More like out, okay. And is it? Are you just getting standing as far back in one side of the tub as you can, and then aiming toward the drain and hoping it arcs down by then?
Well, no, it's not up. My dick ain't pointed straight up when I had an erection since I was a teenager.
Maybe I just pee powerfully. I don't know. I got some powerful.
I guess so.
Powerful stream
Well,
going
because
on.
you were so hydrated.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is. You gotta keep yourself hydrated to have that power stream.
Power stream.
So, okay, so you said you didn't always sit to pee, but what about the urinals? Was that always a thing that you don't?
Well,
use
yeah,
urinals?
unless if there's no one around, I don't care. But the thing about a urinal, you got to point down, and then you still get splashback. Urinals are bad for splashback.
So that's what I was gonna go with here. There's certain styles of urinal that I don't know if they must just not test them because they're fucking terrible. And the fact that no matter how much power you try to hold back from those things, you are
we already know you're powerful.
all over your pants just because of the splashback. And I'm not saying it's all of them, but definitely some of them. And I get so annoyed when I go out to a place that has a urinal and you don't realize it at the time, but it happens to be one of those urinals where you just start pissing and you're like, holy shit, it is everywhere right now. Like, then there's nothing I can do about it at this point.
Yeah.
The better style urinals, but they're also terrible in their own right, are the ones, have you ever seen the urinals that look kind of like toilet bowls just hanging off the wall, but they're just in a urinal pattern?
Yeah. Right.
I remember when I worked for the government, it literally looked like just a toilet bowl sticking out of the out of the side of the thing, and there was no dividers in between. It was just there. And I remember when I was like 19 at the time, and I was so embarrassed to go use the urinal because, you know, it's so funny to me because back when I was like 19, I didn't want anybody ever seeing my penis like it was a, you know, except like my girlfriend or, you know, whatnot at the time. But I thought it was completely crazy. And I remember going into some of the bathrooms sometimes and seeing these dudes just standing there. Like, and you had to kind of lean back because there's not much room. And you have to like whip the thing all the way out. There's no like hiding it. Like in a standard urinal, you can get close enough to it and kind of, you're hiding in the edges, even the ones that don't have dividers. So unless somebody's looking, they're not going to see anything unless they're trying to. But it'd be all these old dudes working it was at the CIA when I worked there. It was all these old dudes just walk into a bathroom and they're all just sitting there with their dicks flopping around like in like the bathroom. And I was always so embarrassed to go in. And I'll tell you, I don't know if it's because of my, you know, nursing career or what, but I never wanted to see any penises in my life, and I have seen way more penises than I think the average prostitute probably sees. And the shit doesn't bother me at all, but it's one of those things still that I don't want I was going to say, I thought you were going to be on my side with this whole urinal thing of talking about, like, I was going to talk about, like, what would be a better urinal design, but you don't even use a urinal.
Well, no, because if there's someone else around,
these guys are still
too,
breeding because this baby just came flying out of this house.
Whenever you place those doors, everyone started fucking.
Oh, really? So
even before you would like close them in or anything, everyone just started having hearts.
So they definitely consider these part of their village. No,
yeah, just the existence of the doors were just like, oh god, I'm so turned on right now.
I need to find out where the best place is to get the stairwell going up. I'm thinking right in the middle.
But no,
dude, they
like,
all are
I get
fucking everywhere.
I get shy around other people. My dick don't operate, so if there's other people around, I can't use a urinal. Like I really hate the trough. The trough is the worst design.
I actually like the troughs.
What?
Yeah.
How can you?
I don't know. It's just there's something kind of cool. I like troughs that have ice in them.
Oh
It
Jesus!
just reminds me of like old school bars I used to go to.
What's the point of the ice? Is this
So
like a little mini game?
I think it's literally that the plumbing didn't work well in them, and the ice continues to melt and push the urine down into the drain. It kind of is a cleaning mechanism.
That's awful.
I do remember the first time I saw ice in the urinal and was so confused at why there was ice in the urinal. I was so confused.
You couldn't even fathom?
No, I couldn't fathom at all, because just like the question you just asked, why do they put ice in the urinal? I just kept asking myself that question over and over.
I always
and over again.
So I just asked it once, and I decided it was to give guys something to do.
I mean, it's
but
true. It is a fun game. I will admit it's a fun game.
You ever seen those urinals where they have the little soccer game in there?
No, but that sounds amazing as well.
Yeah, it's like a little net at the back. You know how they have the little like keep everything clean or whatever. Well, the net's like got one of those little things inside of it. But there's also a little ball that you can try to get into a little goal.
That is amazing. I know. I remember the first couple times I started seeing the urinal pads that had like the pictures of Osama bin Laden's face on them.
Yeah.
And that was cool. It was just like you piss on Osama bin Laden's face. I do know at bars, we definitely used to make a game out of people would have cigarettes thrown in the urinals all the time, and you made it like part of your object was to break the cigarette as much as you could with your urine stream.
That's just weird.
Yeah,
I mean,
weird,
I guess it's weird to have a game in your own head, but now you've like included other people, and now it's weird to me.
Well, I didn't include that. I didn't be like, "Hey, buddy, throw your cigarette in this urinal so I can see."
Well, you said like we had a game, and it was like you were coming back from the bathroom, reporting back. Yeah, I got it in half.
Oh, hell yeah, we did. That was part of the fun. You reported back to your friends about what you did.
That's what I'm. That's what I'm
saying.
saying. Now it's weird because you've included other people.
No, it ain't weird at all. It's just normal. It's what friends do. What friends talk about.
I guess I don't have any.
I mean, not cool friends like me, dude. You just got you are an idiot.
Wow.
You see this fucker? Not you.
Uh-huh.
Not you. This guy. This guy. You see him? He came walking up here as I was closing it in. Now he's trapped upstairs. You gotta
let him free
forever. Nope. Like I said, though, I never expected to see the amount of penises I've seen in my life. That's for damn sure.
Why did you just repeat that?
Because I was going to start talking about penises just because the urinal conversation was over.
Okay, what's your penis talk?
I have no idea.
You should just talk to people in the bathrooms now and be like, I've seen a lot of dicks. Yours is all right.
Be like, don't worry. It's what I do for a living.
You just see someone looking at you. You're a dick judge?
Yup, dick judge. That's what it is. Definitely a dick judge. I will say, for anybody thinking about going into nursing, you definitely will see a lot of penises in your life. Get used to it.
He's not just talking about female nurses either.
No. I'm talking about male nurses as well. I guess the nice thing is being a male nurse in that situation, because I have seen, especially in the emergency department with like some drunk people that come in there, I have seen guys who have to be naked for what one reason or the other, saying very extremely inappropriate things to the female nurses. And I'll be honest, very rarely does that happen to me. Very
Does it happen?
Yeah, it's happened before, but very, very rarely.
What do they say to you?
Oh, I don't know. A lot of times when they say something to me about their penis, especially when they're drunk, it's mainly because they're like, "Bet you're enjoying that, huh?" Like they're trying to be dicks. But sometimes they're like, either trying to be dicks in their own way, or they're actually like gay and think it'd be a perfect time to hit on somebody.
Huh.
So, I mean, they'll say random things, but you don't really pay much attention to them. But I don't deal with, like I said, that as much as the female nurses necessarily have to. I'm not saying that there's not areas where maybe there's the male nurses deal with it more. I've also, it's funny, I've definitely had women make vulgar comments, usually in the, oh, I'm sorry, puppy. Usually in the way that they're trying to be, because they think I'm this big asshole or whatever, when, especially if they're drunk and they're in there against their will and you have to, like, oh, it's this area of attack thing. No wonder I keep hitting my dog, poor guy. But I've definitely had some drunk females saying very vulgar things because they wanted a piece of Nurse Jeff. And trust me, they were not people anybody wants a piece of. Ever. I've never had an attractive girl start hitting on me. That was that was under my nursing care.
I've also never had an attractive girl hit on me.
I'm sure that's not true. I actually know of a few cases that when you have.
That was just a good spot.
Can't
let that open.
Can't sell yourself out like that. I'll be honest though, I think I've said this before. I have never been in a situation where I had a patient I was taking care of, even who was outwardly like extremely attractive, that I ever felt in that, like, that it was not even that it was appropriate, but the mindset was never there to even think about that this would be somebody that I would want to date or something like that.
Right. Huh.
Yeah, it's kind of strange.
I mean, it makes sense, but and my first thought is, well, of course you haven't. I mean, because that'd be unethical. But then I think back at like my other jobs, and I definitely thought the customers were hot.
Oh,
but I guess it's maybe
absolutely. When I was in the restaurant industry, absolutely, I would think differently about customers. It becomes something about, I don't know, somebody that you're caring for medically, and the whole. Oh, I think I've said this before. When I went into nursing, you wear scrubs. Scrubs are extremely thin. If you get a little excited for any reason, everybody's gonna freaking know it. And it was a fear of mine that I'm gonna have some really attractive patient one day that's gonna have to get naked in front of me for whatever reason, and this is gonna be a problem. It has never, ever, ever even come close to being a problem.
That's good.
I mean, yeah, it's definitely good because I don't know, it's just one of those weird things that, of course, in saying that, I'm sure a lot of people are like, Jeff, I can't even believe you thought that. That's disgusting and unethical. And it has nothing to do with being disgusting and unethical. It has to do with knowing that, I have seen attractive women in the past in different situations and been like, oh, that is an attractive woman. Boing, type of deal.
Yeah.
So this was one of those things that I always wondered if it was going to happen to me. It's definitely never happened with a man.
That's good. Wait, would you just say you broke up? So
I said it's definitely never happened with a man in the medical field or elsewhere.
Well, there's always time.
There's always time. I will tell you though, if you really want to know. White
About
men in general.
Oh.
And so okay, this is kind of interesting. Would you consider yourself a grower or a shower?
Oh, whoa. That's a lot of information.
It is a lot of information. I'm just curious. Because I definitely consider myself.
It gets bigger. It definitely gets bigger when it's harder. Isn't everyone really a grower? Like, I've never quite understood this thing.
So, and I guess I don't know if they're all quote unquote growers, because I've also never seen a male penis get hard in front of me doing medical things. Like, that's not something that's happened either. Usually when I'm having to deal with a male penis, it's not doing pleasant things to it, such as shoving catheters in there. So it's not something that people usually get very turned on by. And I will tell you though, in general, white guys' penises are extremely small. And I'm sure it's not because they're extremely small. I'm sure it's because they're growers, like completely growers. Whereas in general, and this is not across the board, but it is kind of true what they say about black guys, but it's from the perspective that they're always just in general much larger, flaccid.
You have a lot of information about penises.
I do. I mean, I've seen. Like I said, I've seen a lot of
You're a penis connoisseur.
It's something like that. I don't know. But I mean, so I will be. I'm with you. I don't understand exactly what that connotation means. Like, does that mean when people ask the question, grower versus shower, are there people who is literally the same size? It's just either flaccid or hard, or
Right? Is it just getting girthier or like harder? I guess.
Right,
Not really necessarily girthier.
and I don't know the answer to that because mine's definitely it's a grower. It's not a, though I've seen some that are so small. And I have to know in my mind that it's got to be like, you know, it's got to be able to get bigger than that too. So they must grow a lot more than mine, or maybe it doesn't. I have no idea. Like I said, I've never seen it the other way. But yeah, that terminology does kind of confuse me as well because it does make me wonder, like, is this huge one that I've seen flaccid the same size hard, or is it just 10 times bigger? Like,
It just gets so big.
yeah, it's one of those ones that's just gonna make me like want to go home and cry and cuddle up in my bed.
I don't think I don't think that a ginormous dick is a good thing either. I feel like there's a limitation. I don't know though. I'm not a woman, so I don't know, but I feel like there's a limitation on how big is still pleasurably big.
Oh, and I would agree with that concept, but I would also say that I think a lot of people, especially younger people who aren't necessarily like confident with themselves yet, nobody really knows the answers to this because you always hear the stories about, you know, women, you know, want big, they want, you know, girthy, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And people never know comparatively if theirs is adequate, large, small, because people, you know, I don't know about you, but my friends, we didn't like pull on our pants and like compare penises to each other.
We definitely did.
See, that's so interesting. You hate troughs, but maybe that's why you hate troughs and hate yours.
Oh yeah, no, this was traumatic.
Was it traumatic because yours was so much smaller than theirs?
No, I did have a friend that had a giant dick though, and I was always like, "Why is his dick so big? He's my age." But anyways, it wasn't like we did this often. This just happened one day, one weekend in Texas. There was a dick show.
It's the new story, or the new the new season of One Weekend in Texas.
Yeah,
they followed up by Alley People. Oops.
But yeah, I mean, we weren't that old, so you know.
See, I'm not sure if that's
everyone was about the same size, to be honest.
It doesn't sound necessarily abnormal. I guess I just didn't have friends that were close enough to do that. I think we were all probably embarrassed. And like I said, when I was 19 years old working at the government,
well, you know, the guy with the giant dick is the one who came up with the whole thing. I think he just wanted us all to see how big his dick was, to be honest.
That's a good possibility. I do remember when my cousin and I were like 2 years apart, and I think he's 2 years younger than I am. And he either started puberty early or I started puberty late. I don't remember like how old we were at the time, but I remember he came over to my house one day and he was all excited and kind of bragging. I just want to say one of us was 12, but I'm not sure if it was he was 12, I was 12. I have no idea. I remember him being like, "Yeah, my dick started to get bigger and I got some hairs down there now." Like he was all proud and like bragging about that he, you know, had this stuff. And I remember being like super embarrassed because I didn't at the time. And I was like, yeah, mine too, you know. Women, beer, boobs, you know, type of thing. So I'm sure it was that, you know, that dude wanted to just brag about his giant penis.
I think that's what happened. You know, they're not going up there.
They're
all
not.
fucking down here.
That's what I'm waiting for them. Like, they obviously recognize these doors because they just started mating like crazy, but I want them to come up here.
It makes you feel like you can just put doors down. That's all that really matters.
Well, that was the old style, was you could just put doors down. And I mean, we could make these if we wanted to get rid of the aesthetics at all. We could put doors right in the middle of the other two doors and they count.
Really?
Yeah, if we just like took away this right here and put a door here, I think that counts as another door.
That's silly.
It just is going to make it look stupid, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's take a look. How stupid does this look? Yeah, that looks pretty stupid.
Yeah, it does.
How did it decide to make this one the French door set?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it based on the way I placed it down or something? Yeah,
no, it's probably like that whole north-south bullshit.
Yeah, I'd rather have
the game has.
I'd rather have it like that and look better. I want to know how long it's gonna be until we get another golem now, because we just
Yeah, we did kind of have a village explosion, didn't we?
Yeah. And this actually
That makes
doesn't
me
look.
wonder.
This doesn't look terrible.
No, that's fine.
Let me step back and take a look here. No, I mean the deck might need some work, but
Oh, I'm sure someone like Arcus would come along and say it's awful, but
it's fine. He doesn't play it with us anymore.
too cool. But yeah, we're out of time either way, so we'll look at it more next time, I guess.
All right, thanks guys.
Bye, everyone.
See ya.